Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Eric with OzoneTCG, and today we have Nick Natalello with his Salamangreat Adventure deck profile. Before we get into the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more TCG Advanced format. Let's get right on into it.
So this is Salamangreat. I play 3 Flame Buffalo. The card is kind of insane, especially now that you don't have a normal summon effect, so you can't really play debug anymore. It also just lets you deep draw into drawing your actual Brave Engine or Adventure Engine. That's the new name. So you can you resolve it before you actually play the game. Next there's 3 Foxy. This card is just super insane right now, especially that everyone's playing Adventure, so it's basically always just live. And yeah, it's the best card to discard with Flame, since if you draw into any spinny or circle or sign mining, you can get to Gazelle or summon Stallion to get to Gazelle. So that's kind of the reason I play 3. Also, you just always want your Flame life. And then I played 3 Spinny, same reason as Foxy, to be honest, except it's just a little bit worse, to be honest. But I mean, it's one card combo compared to all the other ones. When I mean by combo, it lets you make access code, so that's cool. And then I played 2 Jaguar. I kind of want to only play 1, but I'm playing Desires, and I know it's a one-of, but I also want to make my Flame always live, because drawing Flame Buffalo by itself is the worst feeling in this deck. I won't even lie to you. So I was really hesitant on cutting it down to 1, but I do side out the second copy pretty often. Next, I play 1 Falco. There's a lot of cool plays you can do with it. I don't know why you would not play it. 1 Gazelle, it's the heart of the deck. Maybe I'll go to 3. Hopefully soon. And then I played 3 Temple, pretty obvious. Same with the Griffin. And then I played 3 Ash and 2 Ghost Ogre. Ash is pretty obvious, especially in this deck since you can add it back. But I played 2 Ghost Ogre because I just wanted to have a hard out to the Adventure Engine. And it's just randomly good against a lot of random things too, against normal summon Moye, you can ogre it, and then especially if they start with the Hara and then they go normal Moye or reveal a name, you can always just ogre it, and then unless they have the water tinny in their deck and they reveal the Shuna, they just can't play the game anymore. So that's pretty cool. Unless they have Wang Yang, but yeah. And then I play 3 Armagia, obvious, just 3 more copies of the same card, it's Temple. 3 Silent Mining, obvious, you just always want to draw Gazelle or get to Gazelle. And there's every card in this deck is a good discard. You have 3 Foxy, 3 Spinny, 2 Jaguar, the Falco, the 3 Temple. I mean, the both Salamangreat traps. So yeah, everything in this deck is discardable, so it's basically super free. Also, you have the Draco back that you can always just discard. And 2 Circle, pretty straightforward. Rhoda is quick play. You can use it during both players' turns. The second effect actually is pretty cool to play around Nibiru when your guy's relinked. I don't think most people know that. And then I play the Faithful Adventure and the Draco back. They're kind of just needed for the Brave Engine. I kind of want to play 2 Faithful, to be honest, just because it you get to Draco back, and Draco back is, even though it's ugly, it helps break going second. And on top of that, there's a lot of times turn 2 where they just clear my whole field, and I just want I'll have a Temple or Armagia, and I just can't get the whole engine going back. And so it's kind of ugly because I know most people are only playing 1, but for some reason I really want to play a second. And then I played the Sanctuary, pretty straightforward. I will say most people should use the second effect more often. No one knows that's a second effect, but it's really important to get free life points. So you might as well use it just cause. And then I played the 1 Foolish. It's kind of cool in this deck because most people, you didn't really play this before, but now with the Brave Engine, you can always just, you always usually just send Temple, but sometimes you can send a Foxy to trigger Gazelle or something like that. And then I play the Desires because it's Desires. It's probably the best card in the game. I'm not gonna really lie to you. It's just Pot of Greed. 3 Imperm. I just wanted more hand traps. I mean, it's good going first, second. It's kind of a staple. And then I play 1 Rage, 1 Roar. I don't think you need multiples anymore because Desires is that 1, so you don't really need to worry about banishing them. So yeah, I use them back to the OG ratio. And then for the extra deck, I played 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Helio. I think it's all pretty standard at this point. And then I played 1 Lukrembo. I'm just kind of scared of, I guess, trap decks, and most people don't play around the Lukrembo, so it's just like it catches a lot of people off guard, and then you can usually just make access code under it and just go for game. But truthfully, and also I want to play the Dark Charmer once the new card. I at least want to try it because it lets you get access to the Dark Charmer, so you can like steal like DPs or whatever. Next, Hita. I have Hita come up a lot, especially like stealing ashes to make Stalios. It comes up a lot. Card floats, so you get the Gazelle that way. Next, I play the Splash Mage. Update, Jammer, Transcode, and Access Code. That's kind of like all like one package because they all just work to kill your opponent pretty fast. And truthfully, those cards are like the Cybers, like what makes Cybers insane to me, because like all those cards are just absolutely cracked. There's like nothing fair about any of those cards in my opinion, because they all just are monster reborns, or like they just attack twice, or they blow up your whole field. Like you can basically kill your opponent with those 4 cards almost always, which is just kind of crazy. And then I play the 1 Stalio. I mean, obvious. I will say though, when you do draw the adventure engine, you should try to stay away from Stalio. Because once you're fire locked, you can't use Griffins, so you can get you play into hand traps that way. Next, 3 Nibiru. I think that card. I just think that card's needed. I don't know why you wouldn't play it. There's a lot of decks that just lose to this card. Especially when you draw with another hand trap, and then it's really good. 3 Token Collector. I'm scared of the Adventure / Brave / Tinny Sorcel deck. I think this card should be at 3. I play Foolish, so you have 4 copies if you really wanted it going first. And then I played 2 Lancia. It's kind of weird at 2. I just didn't have room for more. Maybe it could be something else, but in my mind, it just seems like it has a lot of good utility against like a lot of random shit. So I have it in there. And then I have 2 Twin Twisters. I think Twin's just a lot better than like I'm not really scared of what's it called? Scythe DPE as much as other people. Maybe because I play 3, 6, 8 plus the 3 Nibiru. Yeah, I have like 13 hand traps for them. So I'll put in the Birus, the Lancias, and like I should not be getting DPE Scythe hopefully through like a decent hand. So I'm not really worried about that. And Twin Twister, yeah, I think it just helps beat all the back row decks. Yeah, I think it's also good going first against like random shit, because like you just like there's a lot of decks that cannot out your Twin Twister now that you have a Griffin. So like you can set it into like back row decks also, which I think is a little bit more important. Like I think clearing 2 overall is just way better than Cosmic at the current moment. That's why I play Duster and Red Reboot. I just want like the easiest outs to everything. Twin Twister also beats the Flunderies matchup, because you can hit their Dreaming Town and map, so then you can just try to make Stalio, and then you can bounce their Impin. So that's pretty cool. And then yeah, I played 3D Barrier. I think this card's like the best going first card, because it really doesn't lose to anything. Like it doesn't lose the back row removal, and it usually blinks turns. So that's what you want from a card like in your side when you go first. So yeah, and yeah, that's the deck.
Do you think this is a meta contender?
It definitely. Yeah, I think it's way better than people think it is. There's a lot of random good synergy with Temple being level 3, and that like all like the Fateful Adventure discard really doesn't matter. And actually it can help in sometimes when you don't have a normal summon. I still would like to test out more things, because I'm not playing Will currently, but I kind of do want to play that card. This deck also has just lots of room for hand traps. Like I can cut the second Jack, the Desires. I can even cut the Foolish if I really wanted to, and that's like 3 more hand traps. So. Or I can just play more than 40, but I wouldn't recommend that, because Gazelle, you just always want to see Gazelle. The deck the biggest issue I think in this deck is that salad cards inherently don't do much unless you like get to Gazelle. So like when you draw the hands with only one Spinny or 1 Jaguar, those hands you're just playing with like 1 engine basically, or nothing. Like Sunlight Wolf Pass isn't scaring anybody in 2021 or 2022. I mean, so. Those are the times it struggles, but when you draw that, like there's a lot of hands where you're just gonna always like draw playable. So like when you draw those hands, it's pretty nice. I won't even lie to you, because you have so much recursion, especially on your turn 2. Like most people can't clear a Sunlight Wolf with like a roar / rage in the back row with a Griffin on the field with like equipped with a Draco back to your token. Like it's just, especially with the Balinks engraved, like it's just really hard to clear everything on the field. Like, I don't think most people realize how hard that really is. And you draw so many cards like off like Flame Buffalo, like drawing 2, like you basically get to see your whole deck. It's kind of nice. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that you can play through Nibiru now with the ability to just use Griffin's effect to negate Nibiru. And then, like you said, it doesn't seem like it's oppressive when you're until you play versus. So just on paper, okay, a destroy 2, you know, some recursion, maybe add Ash Blossom back or have that whatever. That doesn't seem like great on its own. But once you play that, once you see, oh, well, then I just get killed the next turn with access code, I definitely think it's a lot stronger. Especially because those cards are all just super free. Because the Salamangreat cards just do everything once you have them in play.
Yeah, it's so easy to kill your opponent on going second, actually, because the Adventure engine practically almost breaks boards on its own.
Yeah.
And when you pile that on top of like having salad cards and playing through like back row with Helio and Wingaribos, and you can always just make access code and kill them, so it's crazy because the token's 2,000, the Griffin's 2,000. There's a lot of times where I can just like push through their boards and just kill them, so I don't have to like play the grind game, because if I can't in on a disruption, so there's a lot of times that happens. And like I know you can't use transcode the turn you use like Hida or the Brave engine, but like you can still use everything else, because Splash Mage says until the rest of the turn. So you can like almost always just kill your, like always make an access code with almost any hand, since what you Spinny, Jack, Gazelle, any of those cards on its own, it gets you 2 access codes, so that's like insane. And then we like include cards like, you know, 3-sided Mine, 2 Circle, Foxy, if you like draw any other salad card. It's just a lot of hands where you can just make access code to going second and just clear boards and kill them. I mean, like most people don't expect that. Also, Foxy's just really good into boards too, especially like the Floodgate decks, like Skill Drain. Like I have an inherent deck out to Skill Drain, which most decks don't have. Like Prank Kids, for example, like I know that they don't lose a Skill Drain, but like they don't have an out to a Floodgate. Like if you're playing Plus Rivalry against a Prank Kids player, there's no out in your deck.
And even something like there can be only one, just like doesn't even affect you whatsoever. If you start with your Right or Water Enchantress, it just doesn't even matter, because the token is a fairy, Griffin's a winged beast, and then Foxy is obviously a Cybers. It's just insane.
Yeah, and like in the hands where like, if they do try to flip their turn to be 1, you can always just like crash your Flame Buffalo, for example, discard the Foxy, draw 2. Or if you like go normal Foxy, you can usually always just Draco back bounce something. So like you're always basically gonna get the Foxy in graveyard, especially with 3-sided mining the Fateful Adventure. So it has a lot of random synergy that like just really helps. I would say the biggest problem with this engine is Stalio locking you, but like if you don't have to make Stalio, you just shouldn't. So that's my like way to play around it, I guess. But yeah, I mean the deck's been really good in testing. Like so many hands are just like Silent Mining, Circle, Flame, Temple in like a hand trap, and you're like, man, this is nuts, and it really is.
And honestly, I think even if you're not scared, for example, of I don't know, trap decks or whatever, you could probably cut the Lukrembo for Abyss Dweller, because that card is just so strong right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. You could definitely just fit like you could definitely cut the Lukrembo for Abyss Dweller in your deck, or at least put one of them in the side deck.
Yeah.
And if you like really want to like turbo out rank 4s, you can also like fit Barrel Exceed in here. I just choose not to currently, because I think I don't want to like commit that much. So but I definitely think this deck is like a little under the radar, because I haven't really seen much people talk about it, but I'm truthfully not in many Salamangreat Facebook groups, so who knows.
Well, awesome already, Nick. Thank you for the deck profile. I guess look forward to seeing more replays of this. People are going to want combo videos for this. I don't think there's really a strict combo guides, because it's just Salamangreat plays anyway with the adventure stuff, and it kind of depends what you have in hand anyway. Like any Salamangreat lines you played the deck before, they will pretty much work here too. I don't think there's a single combo that relies on normal summoning Gazelle for your combo, besides the old normal summoning Gazelle, Milf, Spinny into Stalio, which at that point doesn't even matter.
I will say though, if I guess this is something I should bring up. If you want to chain block things, you can always, for example, if you want to chain block your Fateful Adventure like Dracoback search or like your Bailing search, you can always just wait till you like summon. Obviously, most people don't know that. So like, if you want to play around like, for example, Ogre on your like first like Adventure search, you can always go like normal. Like, you know, Flame Buffalo, make Balinks chain link 2. Therefore, like, you're gonna get the Dracoback search anyways.
Yeah.
So like there's just like random things you can do like that like I don't think most people know how to abuse. Also, like Fateful Adventure triggers off your opponent summons.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of cool things you can do.
It's just so dumb. I definitely think this version gets a lot better with the support in Dimension Force, the Illegal Knight, the bounce 2, for those who don't know. Especially because you can just continue removing all of their cards, which is, I think, the number one thing. It makes going second even easier for this.
Yeah, I think this deck is... I would say it's like, oh my gosh, like breaks the meta, but
yeah,
it's definitely way better than I think people give it credit for.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you, Nick, for the profile. I guess we'll see more replays of this. This is Eric and Nick with OzoneTCG. We'll see you guys in the next one.